So I'm just back 1 week from my latest Vipassana course and just in time for this latest series of the starting line. So in life, things that are wanted don't happen, unwanted things happen, wanted things happen, and then the effects start to fade, the glow starts to fade. And what that does is it causes tension, it causes inner tension within us. And so the Buddha said that was like a piece of rope that we basically twist from both ends, and the rope gets all tight and ties itself up in knots and so forth. So the solution, which is the technique he brought to the world, is to basically let go of both ends of the rope through equanimity and awareness. So awareness of bodily sensation and equanimity, non-reaction to it. Now, all of those tensions don't just suddenly release just as soon as you become equanimous and aware. It's a much slower process than that, because though we are like a piece of rope, it's more like we're a piece of a number of ropes all throughout our body where all these tensions have been sort of stored. So that comes from either expressing or suppressing negative emotions, or what are also known as impurities of the mind. Anger, for example, if I express anger, then I enforce it within myself, this conditioning within myself of anger. If I suppress it and try to think of other things, or try to just push it down by thinking of nice things, then that just makes it a sleeping volcano ready to erupt into the future. So the Buddha's path was the middle path, which was simple observation. Not observation of the thing that makes you angry, which just in itself will make you even more angry, but observation of what happens on the body when you get angry. So two things happen there. The breath changes, as it does with every impurity of the mind. It basically hardens and it gets a little fast. Then there's always a bodily sensation as well that goes along with it. So with anger, you can think of things like heat and pressure, just building up that feeling of anger. So when we observe the physical manifestations of that anger, for example, we are acknowledging the anger, we're not suppressing it or expressing it, we're just allowing it to arise, and eventually it will pass away. Now, what also happens with that is it's not only the present anger that is being evaporated, but also past anger which you've suppressed or expressed in the past. So that's why these things are called impurities of the mind, and this technique purifies the mind. So what are the benefits of purifying the mind? Well, as the tension in the rope begins to unravel itself, what happens is the qualities of love and compassion, sympathetic joy, joy in general, and equanimity grow, as does one's happiness and inner peace. And although I can tell you about those other things, which I'm sure everyone can relate to, and I'm talking there about those tensions that we generate when we generate things like anger, ill will, hatred, all those types of things, all those impurities of the mind. Not everyone understands that with this technique, or basically any technique that has awareness of sensation and equanimity towards them, is that over time these things grow, this love, compassion, joy and equanimity, happiness and inner peace. So having just done a Vipassana, and I've done a number over many years, I know for a fact that through my own experience of the impact that it has, that those things do happen. And testament to that is that Vipassana itself is a free course for people to do. I'm not here trying to sell it, obviously. It's all donation-based, made possible by people that have gone before. And the people there are all volunteers, volunteering for that course, etc. And since the teacher Goenka started spreading the technique around the world again, which happened from about 1970, there's now well over 200 centres that have been built off donations and by volunteers around the world, like the one that I just went to in Blackheath, which is a huge centre. So in essence, how does one then look at the world? That love and compassion, well, how does that express itself? Well, for me, when I look at the world, I just want people to be happy. I want to do my best to make people be happy, and not just people, but the environment around us, the creatures that live here on this planet, and the biosphere, the ecosystems, the health of the planet, the health of everybody, trying to achieve peace, all that sort of stuff. So these are the impacts of the technique, and really it is our true self, because when we don't generate these tensions just by being equanimous to sensation, that's it, there's nothing else, just feeling sensations, being equanimous, non-reactive to them, then they just start to dissipate, and with that creeps in this increased love, compassion, joy, and so forth. So it's really our natural state to be that way. And why is it our natural state? Not 100% sure, but I think it has to do with the world having mostly a symbiotic relationship with one another. Nature feeds off one another. In order for one species to thrive, all species have to thrive, that kind of thing. So in the next final series of the starting line, we're going to look at what is happening in the world and how we can actually improve it. We'll start to look at how we can improve things and make things better so that we can all live happily, peacefully, in harmony with the environment as well, and actually take that next step in human evolution.